Okay, so Lauren Bondy is our speaker tonight, you guys. She and I met at NLC last year. We've been collaborating for a little over a year, and it's been awesome to watch her growth and just be able to like be each other's sounding boards for the past year and a half. Right now, she was five, or she hit 5-star, lifetime 5-star last year and 2024 elite, but she also was 2023 premier. And she is the founder of Team Imperfectly Fit. She is a mom, a working mom of 3. And I want you guys to all just like listen to what she has to like say. I don't even know what it is yet. So like there's no like hidden agenda here. There's no like like curated content coming at you. Why Lauren and I vibe so well is because she's a real mom. She's a real person with a real life and a real job. And she works her body business full time in addition to her full time job. So I want you guys to just be ready and willing to ask questions, answer questions, and just like be fully here with us. So I'm going to mute myself, and Lauren, you can take it away.
All right, you guys, I'm so excited to be here. This is long overdue. So I'm glad that we finally connected and have a date. Yes, thank you, Heather. We connected a little over a year ago at NLC. Honestly looked at Heather and was like, you're a normal person. I'm a normal person. I can feel your vibe. Anytime I met any of Heather's team, to you guys last year, I had the privilege of meeting a lot of you, Tiana, we did a pub crawl, like pub trolley at San Antonio. So it's super, super fun. So love this connection. I know a lot about your team. We share very intimately about like your team, our team, really collabing, working together. And so tonight, I just want to come to you guys as, yes, as a busy full-time working mom. I am here for you to pick my brain, but I do want to talk about, I'm not going to talk about the shifts I made in my business to go from NLC to Elite. We have that recording from corporate. We can get that to you. I also did a whole podcast with Melanie Mitro on actual like how I block my time. So again, there's that resource. We're going to get you both of those after this call. But today I want to talk to you about really how relatability is my superpower. And this is all something that all of you guys can do. And so I'm going to talk. I think there's 5 things I have down here that I want to cover tonight, but a little bit more for those of you who don't know kind of my backstory and know me. I started my journey 7 years ago, not as a partner. Okay, so I came in very much like Heather. I lost 100 pounds in 18 months. I really found myself for the first time. I had 2 girls at the time. So Adeline was 3, Harper, my middle, was 6 months old. I was looking at family pictures we'd had taken, and I was just like, this is not what I want for them. I grew up, loved my mom to death, but she was not an active mom. I wasn't raised in an active household. I thought healthy eating was lean cuisines and like Special K cereal, right? And so that's kind of what I grew up as. I graduated high school. I started dating my husband immediately after graduating high school. He was my high school teacher, went to college, got married to him. As soon as I graduated college at 21, we popped out some babies pretty fast and just like kind of got immersed in motherhood. Again, always bigger, you guys, like size 16, 18 was about the smallest I remember myself. You know, gained the weight, 285 pounds. So fell into body because I was trying to go to our local gym, a super small town. I graduated with 42 in my high school class. And since I worked full time, I would go to work and then that 4 to 4:30, 4:45, I would try and get to the gym. And I'd go to the gym and I was like spinning my wheels. What do I do? I don't know what to do. I was feeling the mom guilt. And that's when I stumbled upon a Lift 4 video, like an infomercial for it. And I was like, okay, he's cute. I don't like doing cardio. I can lift some weights. Fell in love. So that's kind of how my journey with body started. I didn't have Instagram. I didn't have social media. 2019, which is crazy that I'm coming up on that. 2019, I got Instagram. I had one post on my page, and someone found me, a body partner, and reached out like, hey, you know, I see you live an active lifestyle. Like, are you interested? Basically invited me. I told her, no, I already have body and I do it my own. She came back a few more times and was like, do you know that like there's groups? And I'm like, no. And I, again, was kind of like, I lost 100 pounds for myself at this point. Like, I'm good. I don't need this. But I started watching her and I was like, why is she in a foam pit with a bunch of girls in a awesome resort, like doing fun things? And honestly, I was kind of craving that. So I said yes to being a partner because one, I was deathly afraid of gaining 100 pounds back, like very much so. And I knew if I can go on this journey and take people with me, regardless where this goes, that's going to better my life. So I said yes for that. I loved Energize. I wanted to discount. And in the back of my mind, I was like, what if this could be more? Like, I definitely had that little light bulb. So August 2019. So coming up this August on 5 years, I became a partner. I came in, you guys. I was told you hit Success Club every month. And that is something like I haven't missed. I'm at 57 months. My husband is a teacher. We were not earning any vacations. And they're like, you could earn a vacation every year for you and your husband if you hit Success Club. And I'm like, wait, do I have to build a team to get that to happen? And my coach is like, no, you hit Success Club. Okay. So everyone on this call right now, like draw a line in the sand, like find 3 people to help a month because those trips are worth it alone. So I came in, I hit Success Club every month. I got to Diamond. This was before preferred customers. I will say, I think Heather can attest to that. It was a lot harder to get to Diamond back in the day. I got to Diamond in like April. So I started August, April, hit Diamond for like 9 months. And I stayed there for 2.5 years, girls. Like I I ran a boot camp and it served me so well. And I needed to be confident. I needed to recruit people. And I did boot camp. And it wasn't until 2 years ago, right at 2 years ago, March of 2022, I went to my first live event. We were COVID coaches. We didn't get to do all of this stuff in person. And I was like, wait, why can't this be more for me? I took my husband. You know, if you guys have husbands right now who are skeptical, Josh never was because he's very supportive and knew it made me happy. Like I expressed to him, I'm so happy. Like, and he knew I was having community. So he never was against it, but he went on that trip and I was like, Lauren, these are your people. This is your thing. Like I can see it. I see your excitement and your energy. So I came back from that, and then again, just a diamond. And I was like, okay. Went to Summit, and I was like, I want to build this business. And I started not being afraid to talk about the business. And from there, just really getting intentional. I signed some partners that along the way realized those aren't my people. You know, Heather's had that too. You learn and you grow when you come through it. But I just knew like there's more here. And I want to create a group of women who don't just want to do the workouts, but also want to build a business. So really, yes, I've been a partner for almost 5 years, but 2.5 years, I signed up Success Club. I hit Success Club, which is something to be proud of. Like when you go to Summit and you get your lanyard and it says how many months you are, which it's always less because they cut it off before or whatever. But you get that lanyard, and I'm like a recognition junkie. I love it. And I'm like, I was so proud. And so you guys like shoot for that first and foremost. So I built my 5-star elite team though, by being real and relatable. My social media is not great. It has taken great strides this year, but prior to January, it was really horrible. My social's not great. I work full time. I don't get to spend hours and hours a day doing this. That was a limiting belief I had for a long time, is that I can't be an elite team. Elite team, elite partners, this is their full-time job, right? They have all the time in the world to spend on this. They have assistants, they have this and this. And so I told myself this story for a really long time. But again, you know, my 5-star elite team was just built by being real and relatable. And I'm going to talk to you kind of about 5 things that I teach my team. And also when I look back on my journey, taking out the actual metrics of success, what at the core was it? Number one thing, you guys, you are not a walking billboard for body. You guys are so much more than that. No one joins me because I put up great body graphics, or I'm the best at doing reels, or I do the feel good summer. They don't join me for that, right? They join me because they relate to me. And so I know that niche down, right? Anyone else like get petrified when we kept hearing this like a year ago? You need a niche down. And I'm like, I don't have anything to niche down on, right? Like I'm a small town mom. I work, I have girls. I don't know. I've lost weight. I tried recipes. I was horrible, literally horrible at that. My kitchen's ugly. I'm like, I can't do that. And I really started to think like, what's my niche? Well, my niche technically is like small town mom. So you'll see me talk about rural rooted a lot. And that really means, for those of you not in it, like I wouldn't classify myself as a farm wife, right? We don't have a farm where I'm like hauling my husband to the field and taking meals and all that. We have a hobby. We have hobby animals. But rural rooted, we live in the middle of nowhere. I don't like Heather. Literally, I messaged her. I'm like, what kind of bread are you getting for this? Because like I literally live nowhere where I could get anything good, right? There's like very little options. And so that's my market. So when you come to my page, you're going to see me share about like real life. You're going to see me sharing about my kids and about 4-H life and showing. My husband is a teacher. You're going to see that. We're very invested in the community. You're going to see my transformation. Yes, that is a big part of it. And as body partners, whether you have a physical transformation or a mental transformation, this journey has done something for you. So I need you to lean into that, right? Like, and I know they're for a while, they're like health esteem, and we don't sell transformations. Guys, transformations sell because transformations are relatable. And people need to be able to relate to you. And so they do. They come to my page, and most of the women I sign up have 50 to 100 pounds to lose. Most of the women aren't relating to me right where I am right now. They're relating to the hope that I give them of where I was to where I am now. And if I didn't share the raw and the honest and the stories, they would never be able to connect with me. Even if I'm just sharing before and afters, they're gonna be like, that's great for you. But you need to take them on the journey and really share. And I talk about that. I talk about being bullied in school. I talk about, like my friend's boyfriend who made the beep
What?
beep, like the backing up noise when, I
I'm on
walked
a
in front
Zoom
of
and I'm
him.
trying to do mom's hand. What?
You know, and so I share that. You're going to see motherhood. I don't agree with the fact that you can't be more than one thing, right? So like, but it's all tied together. You're going to see my motherhood, small town life, all these shopping. I'm not fancy. Kids are everywhere, and this is fancy dressed up for me. So remember, you're not a walking body billboard. Stop posting the infographics and really don't post them. Like, and I haven't checked yours. I'm not like, I don't know. I don't think any of you guys do it. This is what I share with my team. So I'm sharing with you guys my heart, like I would share with my team. Like, I swear I'll come through the screen if I see you post a body infographic. Like, no one's going to sign up with you because of that. You can put it on your stories. That's fine. Do not put it on your main feed post. And just remember, you're so much more than a body partner. So lean into that. I love when people like come to me and they're like, I want to join you. And I'm like, okay, so have you ever, we get to talking. They don't even know what Beachbody is. They don't even know that's what I'm doing. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay them coming because of my brand and wanting to do what I'm doing. And I could be selling them anything. And at that point, they would join. Number two, we kind of talked about a little bit, like share your struggles, right? So often life gets crazy and it's easy to pull off. It's easy to say, okay, my life's crazy. My kids are sick. I literally have nothing to talk about. I barely got my workout in today. I'm not going to share on my social media. One day's okay, but what I've seen in my partners is that then it spirals, and then it's a few days, and then it's a week. And you guys, it's so hard. So think about every time you show up on social media, you're building trust, right? You're building trust. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. You're seeing the good and the bad. If you take a day off, a day's fine. My social media knows on Saturdays, I'm silent Saturdays. I've worked up to that. This year, that was something I need to put in line for my own mental health. But if you take off a whole week and everyone's like, where is she? And all of a sudden you come back and you're like, join my boot camp. They're going to be like, I don't know that I can trust her, right? Like, I don't think I can join her because she hasn't shown up. So it's okay to show up, and you don't have to be rainbow and sunshine. Now, we're not going to come on and be like negative Nancy's on here, but it's okay to be like, all right, the kids have been sick. I'm barely surviving. What I'm doing this week is I'm listening to Growth Day and I'm drinking my water. And that's where we're at. So just like really be real, provide value for others facing that same struggle. So maybe it is that the kids are sick and you're like, you know what? I got outside today and sunshine hit my face and like I feel better. Like you saying that is just going to encourage someone else to go do that. Maybe yours is like, I'm overwhelmed and I realize I can't do it all. I asked my husband to do bedtime tonight. Or like I have a house cleaner come only once a month. And it's like the best day of the month. And like talk about that, but talk about your struggles and how you kind of work through them, because those following you and watching you, they're going through those same struggles. But just promise me you guys won't go silent, because nothing kills your momentum and your business more than just going silent. Number three, you have to learn to be disciplined in the unsexy vital behaviors, because sporadic work means sporadic results. And as a long time, as a full-time working mom, right? Many of us are told you can build this business in the pockets of your day. You can do this, 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there. I believe you can build this business in the pockets of your day, correct. I do not believe that you can build it without setting intentional time. And again, I'm gonna share that podcast with you guys on like how I break it down. But mornings are me time, right? Like it is the me time. It is my personal development. It is my workout. I try not to check my team page or my messages, and then I go to work. And then at lunchtime, right? Like lunchtime, that's when my girls get me. They know I'm going to respond to messages then. I will be doing all of that. And then I work in evenings. So that's when my power pockets are. The weekends, I do a lot of time. Anytime I'm in the car, you better believe I'm voice messaging. Heather is so tired of my voice messages, but I voice message. That's how I invite. Like I invite people via voice message because I know that's the time I have where I'm driving, I can be productive. Those are the kind of shifts I've had to make to focus on the unsexy behaviors. I don't binge Netflix. I don't do that, but I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything with life, right? Like I used to sit for hours and watch TV and like that wasn't serving me. This, hopping on team calls, talking to women, creating value and content, that really serves me. If you only have 10 minutes a day, and there's some days, you guys, and I am going into the heat of my busiest time at my full-time job. And there's some days that I don't have mental capacity. If you have 10 minutes, screw the post. Okay, like get in your stories, speak on your stories every day, get in your stories and invite and connect. Because I know that's the income producing activities. And right, you look at your business activity tracker, so many times it's really easy to do that very top section. Like we all love our supplements, right? We love doing our workouts. We like doing our mindset. That's easy, but it's that third section down where it's like actually inviting and connecting. That's what makes your business viable and sustainable and what matters. So, as busy working moms, if you have 10 minutes a day, I need you to say, I'm committed to sending invites. Something I did at the very beginning too is like, I don't invite every day because I don't have the energy for it. Like, I want to sit down, high energy, blast Morgan Wallen, like get excited and invite, but I do invite at least 50 a week. So you're looking at like my numbers are still there. So maybe you break it down and you do 5 a day or 3 a day, or you're like me and you're going to sit down and boss out a Sunday nap time power hour. Those are still my absolute favorites because one, Sundays are super good social media days. If you're going to take a day off, I know people take different days off. I personally kind of played around with it. Sunday, my story views are like sometimes double. People are getting ready to go into the week. Anyone who's been like waiting to join, like Sunday's the day they're going to make the decision. So I do that. Stop telling yourself you can't, like I said, can't grow this business because of XYZ. And I don't know what your limiting belief is. Mine was I work full time. Mine was I can't be an elite partner because I work full time. You guys that don't know my story, like I will never not work full time. It is a family owned business. I literally run the business, and inheriting the business. So that is my business. When I decide to leave there, it will be selling a business. So that's not something I take lightly. So I've learned like I can have both. I can balance both, and I can have joy in both. Um, Use your excuse you have right now as your fire to time block. Okay, so time blocking like is key. I promise you. Schedule your joy first, right? Like Saturdays, I'm off social. It's all full family day. Sunday church, we don't miss unless a kid is sick, which has happened the last few weeks. We do those things. We have a date once a month with my husband. And I know that like 4 to 5 o'clock and is nighttime with my kids. It's really important to get home, get them set. So time block, be disciplined in the unsexy habits. Consistency is a superpower. And when I watched, like as a new partner, I kept watching these national wake up calls. And they used to say, Sandy used to always ask the question, what is your superpower? And what I heard over and over from these top partners, like the Melanie Mitros and Kim Fitzpatrick's and Christine Delgado, is like consistency. And they just consistently show up when others don't. And I told myself from the very beginning, I'm like, you know what? I might not be great at social media. I might not be a high recruiter. I might not sell a ton of challenge packs a month, but I can be consistent. And that is something you can all decide is you're going to be consistent no matter what. The fourth is we have to remember we are in the business of human connection. And I know so often it's easy. We're behind a screen, right? you're doing a lot of your business on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, whatever it is. But we have to remember, like, this is about human connection. I built my team and community and legit went 5-star elite because of small local meetups. I went to Punta Cana again, the March 2022. I came back from that and I was like, I know what I'm missing. I'm missing in-person events. I am missing getting my people together. And so, you guys, I didn't have like a huge group at the time, but I did have enough that I was like, I'm going to host. I live in Missouri. A lot at that time, especially, we're pretty close, within a few hours. And I was like, okay, I found a church in Columbia. It's an hour away from me. I'm like, I know it's pretty central. And I got one of my church leaders is also a pound instructor, like the drumstick workouts. So not even a body workout, but body workouts have worked perfect for this. And I'm like, I rented this church space. It was $150. And I'm like, okay, I invited my entire community. I'm like, we're going to come, we're going to do a workout. I introduced and hooked so many people on Energize that day. It's like, I wish I could have a ratio of like how much I made off Energize sales after that day, right? Brought them in, with Energize bar. I had like door prizes, like little things. At this time, I was not making money with Bondy. Like, let's remember that. It took me a while to make substantial money, but I always did these things like stickers and like just little fun things. I had PD books I had read and was not going to read again. And so we did door prizes and we had 22 women come to this event. And at the time, I had some partners on my team. Looking back, they were definitely community partners, right? They weren't business builders, but I had them. And I had some team tanks made. I know Heather's really great about that with you guys, but I had team tanks made. They were horribly orange and teal color. They were heinous. Now I would not get those again, but I had them made. And so the few people that were partners, I like gave them to them and we're so excited. And we wore them and we took pictures after. There's like 5 or 6 of us. And I watched, though, I had some rock stars there that I really wanted to join. And I was like afraid to invite to the partner opportunity at that point. I was still newer to working the biz, right? And they watched and I could tell. And we went out to brunch afterwards and I sat and I talked to them. The FOMO of being in that picture, that team picture and that team tank, I signed 4 partners after that event. All 4 of them are still with me. 2 of them went and were part of my 5-star diamond team last year. And it was from a small local event. And these women, like, they want a community. And that's what I quickly learned is, yes, I was here to lose the weight, but what my niche market and what my community wants is we want community. We are the women who were not the popular kids in school. We are, we're the ones who maybe had children before anyone else of our friends group. We live in the middle of nowhere. There's nowhere for us to go and like have community and relationships. And when I realized that was the secret sauce, and I tell my team this all the time, I get on team calls and I'm like, we're going to go top 10 this year. Why? Because we're servant leaders and because we have the community piece that's so much different than others. And I know the NGU crew has that as well. So like lean into that. Creating small group pods. So live events are great, but maybe some of you guys are like, my customers are all over. You can do the same thing virtually. So I run Battle of Besties, I run March Madness, I run right now, Fit Wars. Like I run all these groups, and I run one every quarter. And what I love in there is I take time, and yes, it takes time, but this is things I love. I will pair up people who are similar. So, if they're moms in the same type geographical area, they've got kids the same age. If I've got a teacher group, if I've got our grandma group who call themselves the Golden Girls, right? I try and pair them all up. I've got all these ag wives whose husbands are like in the field constantly, and anyway. So I pair them up. And so then they're in chats. I leave myself in the chat a lot of times because I like to be in the midst of things. I like to see how things are going, but I appoint one of them as like their captain or whatever. But what I've loved, I have some of these chats that are still going 2 years later. You bet your bottom dollar people are not going to like quit doing Body or pull out of the chat because they're connected, not just with me, but now they have teammates who are doing it too. And guys, these aren't coaches. These are just rockstar challengers. So I challenge you to take a look at that. Or maybe you're starting customers at the same time. If we would treat our customers kind of like we do our partner teams and like potting each other up for success and accountability, I found that to be so, so valuable. So Secret Santa exchanges, our team does that. Now my team is not all in Missouri, right? We've definitely branched out, and we'll do Secret Santa exchanges on Christmas where I send them, I'm like, okay, last year we did a tank one where like, do you like motivational or funny? What size are you? And we set a $20 limit. I kind of distributed everyone's names and then we opened them on together. It's just really fun way for even my community partners and my discount partners to be part of the team. We had to stop relying on social media messaging alone. You guys, a lot of you too, if you're newer, if you're not at diamond rank yet, if you're, you know, your diamond team is in your phone, right? They're in your Snapchat. They're who you're texting with every day. I challenge you to text them, to call them, to set up, you know, meet in person. If I can get someone on Zoom or on a FaceTime call, like they are 90% more likely to sign up. It's just they need to see that human connection. So again, number 4, we're in the business of human connection. And number 5, it comes down to your mindset. You have to believe you are worthy of achieving your goals. And for a long time, I didn't. I am doing something different. This is not what my family expected me to do with my life. This is not what my town approves of, right? We've got a lot of Karens over here in Paris, Missouri. But you have to know that you are worthy of achieving your dreams. Remember your why. You know, what's your vision? And for a long time, I had my first notebook I ever had. I bought it from Dollar General. I didn't want to put a lot of money into this business because I didn't know if it would last. And I just wrote like, to help another mom feel as good as I feel. That's great, but that's not going to get you to do the unsexy things when you put your kids to bed and you want to go to bed. And I quickly realized that for the first 2.5 years, right? It was like, I want to help other moms. Well, I was doing that, right? I was helping 3 a month. I hit success club every month. I was technically doing that. It wasn't until my vision became bigger, like that it all switched, you know, and my vision is truly to create a community of women who are seen and accepted for wanting more in life. And that more is more income and more impact. And I want more for my family. And I want 2 vacations a year. I just posted a reel about vacations. I'm literally like, that's what I do. If I like let my brain wander, I just plan vacations that I never can afford to go on. But Bondy is helping me afford those. So like, what's your vision and what gets you excited? And what, when you want to go to bed after falling asleep in the chair with your toddler, rocking her to sleep, are you going to come out and put in your 2 hours of work because it's worth it? What are your limiting beliefs? What do we need to squash? Right. And that takes a lot of mindset work. I think Heather's made it clear growth day is like a non-negotiable in your team. So that is amazing. Like every single morning you need to be leaning into that. You need to be journaling. I journal and that's come out a lot. Also, if you guys are Christian based, I really do love 100 Days of Believing Bigger. This year has changed the game for me because it's not only devotional, but then you journal next to it. And like, there's been a lot of like hard things pulled out of me that have allowed me kind of to dig deeper and like, why am I still limiting myself in some regards? And remember, someone out there right now, like literally right now, needs you to show up as you, to shine the light for them to come out of their darkness. And every time when I sit down to invite and I sit down to connect, I'm like, this is a gift I have to offer. My worth is not reflected on their answer. My worth is reflected that I am servantly sharing this and that I am doing what I feel God is calling me to do, which is to shine the light out for others to do as well. So you guys, we have to be the light. You have to be you. You know, you have a story you need to share. You have to get committed to the unsexy behaviors. Remember, we're in the business of human connection and never lose that. Your people always worth more than your numbers. And you are worthy. You're worthy of achieving your dreams. And you guys, I feel like you have a lot of sleeping giants on your team, just like right there, really, really close to some epic breakthroughs. And it's breaking down those limiting beliefs. Like, what is keeping you from that, right? Like, so many of you are going emerald. Okay, business starters the new emerald, right? So like, let's talk about a few business metrics and I'm gonna open up for questions. But you guys, if you're an emerald, you need to be a business starter this year. And what I love about this, we have had 7 on our team. And I love that it is making your income go up. Like an emerald partner, I don't know about you guys, but like the first week I hit emerald, I'm like, ooh, I made $14. Like okay. All right. Business starter, like put that in perspective where if you build that week, like you're making more than 14, right? So it's starting to build it. So like do that. Get to business starter. That success club one time. You guys, it's awesome. So many of you already have points on board. So hit success club. You'll get a leadership point with success club. You don't even need to worry about that. Hold your MO for 6 straight weeks, right? Oh, I hate it. I had a girl and I was like, no, no, no. I'm like, okay, no, Jen, like you're on week 5. You've got to hold week 6. Same thing for diamond bonuses. Like you guys, you realize Heather and I would have killed, and some of you older coaches too, killed to have had diamond bonuses from the beginning. I'm like, excuse me. I worked my booty off to get to 2-star because they're like, you get bonuses at 2-star. Now I'm like, you get bonuses at diamond? Like hold your 6 weeks, right? Like write it down in your calendar. I love if I'm like, if one of my accounts is starting to qual, like I'll write it down and be like, we don't drop, right? When you start quals, you don't drop. And that's something I tell my team, right? We hold for a 6-week period. Get your booties to Summit, like hands up, who's coming to Summit? Like, do we have a huge crew coming? Yay, quite a few. Okay, if you're not coming to Summit, put that on your vision board next year. It's like line in the sand. That's what I told my girls. I have a lot not coming too. It's kind of split. And I said next year, line in the sand, like you're going to be at Summit. Those live events really do matter. I know, like you guys have a retreat that you can earn, which is amazing. I think Heather and I both agree, like we would have killed to have retreats to work for. My upline coach is not an active upline coach and hasn't been for years. Christina Delgado is technically not mine, but she kind of swooped in and like is taking me underneath her wing, but I'm not hers, right? So like I've never had team calls to come on. I had 2.5 years in my business where I didn't have a team call to get on, which is just crazy. Like and that's why for 2.5 years I just kind of floundered around. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? So lean into your community, get success partners. And I know you guys have a solid team here, but I challenge you to do like Heather and I did on find someone else in the network because it's really great. Like your team's awesome, but sometimes not that you're gonna like go bitch about your team. Sometimes you need to be able to go and get new, fresh ideas. And it's so great to have other perspectives. And so I've told some of my leaders that, like, hey, I'm going to help connect you with a success partner, but you need to be bold. Believe you deserve to be in the rooms. And I don't care what room you walk into. I've walked into a lot of rooms where I was the very bottom person, but I told myself early on, like, you're going to stand tall and you're going to act like you belong in this room. And I fully believe the only reason I was the NLC speaker is I was like, I owned it. I told everyone who would listen, like, I'm going to be speaking on NLC stage. Like, I bombarded people, but I believed I deserved to be in that room. And you guys need to believe that too, whether that is Heather putting you in the leader chat, whether that is you walking at Summit and getting to go on the floor because you're SC legend, whatever that is, like, really believe in that. But that's what I got for you guys tonight. So I'm yours for 26 more minutes if you want to take that time to ask questions. No one's barged through the door yet.
And
So
like, don't put it in the chat. Like, just like come on video, ask away. Like, I want you to know, like, maybe you're a newer person on the team and you're like, I don't want to ask that right now. Ask because like Lauren said, this is your time to be bold. And if you have questions about the opportunity and you want to be successful and you have certain things that you want to work on, this is the opportunity for you to speak freely without judgment. Ask the questions that maybe you haven't been comfortable enough to ask me yet. And I'm just going to zip it and let Lauren answer.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah.
all right.
I have a question about what you said for like getting everyone together. How often do you do that? And do you do it like with yourself, your partners, and then you just invite like different people in the community that have been interested?
So I do this quarterly. I do it quarterly. Like we had a hot yoga meetup last month. We did a hot yoga meetup. We're actually gonna go do a mud run in August all together. This is
Nice.
for anyone. Like this is customers. These are not coach meetups. These are not team meetups, right? This is for clients, customers' perspective. I tell them, like, if you have anyone interested, like bring them. So yes, quarterly. What I love is that now that's expanded. So I have a team kind of all over Missouri, starting to be all over the Midwest. They're starting to have meetups. And I love seeing that, right? And maybe it's a few people meeting in part to do a workout like Heather does. We like working out. So a lot of times they're like group fitness classes we'll go together and do. we did meal prepping. So like I have one girl, Becky, like that's her thing. And like her girls in St. Joe area, they all like made a meal before, like they didn't cook together. They made meals, they came, they did swaps. They, went out for breakfast. I have some that'll go to church together, like that they will do that and then go out to eat afterwards, a hikes. But yeah, so quarterly, whole community, not just partners. And I kind of do use it as a partner sneak peek type because obviously a lot of your partners are going to show up to these because they're your most active community members. Well, they come and then you have some of your up and coming community members who are obviously active enough to come to a live event. Like it takes some confidence to come to a live event, right? Especially if you've never met these people. I'm recruiting the crap out of them. I'm like, all right, you're here. You've seen what this is now, bring it in. So quarterly, it's great. Even if you start doing it every 6 months, and don't think it has to be something crazy or expensive or anything like that. So even a coffee meetup or a brunch but yeah, we're excited. There's what are they called? It's an all female mud run. They're like all over the country. And we're doing, August, we're gonna do one. And like we're gonna have people coming in from our other states too. So like they're very excited about that one.
That's awesome.
And I
And
have to coordinate it.
fun fact, like 90% of my team is where I'm from in New York. Literally almost everybody on this call besides 3
Oh my
people
gosh.
live within 1 hour of each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You guys need to be scheduling those things.
It's like mind-boggling. Like you guys all live within an hour of each other. I literally live within an hour of Jaleesa and Shannon. That's it. And like it's like I have FOMO. Like y'all could get together so much and I don't get to be there. And it's
we are planning it.
good.
Andrea and I. Well, we've been talking about it anyways.
Good because
So.
you need to. It'll make it so much more fun. I
I
swear.
already know all of the energized mocktails that they made at NLC or not NLC, but Punta Cana. So I'll make those.
There you
Those
go.
are so good.
There you go.
And like I tell my girls, like take messy action. I had a partner, Dana, and she's like the least outgoing, bubbly person, but she's like, oh, I'm gonna do it. And she did it, right? She did it. She had some people come who weren't already in her group. And it built her confidence. So yeah, messy action.
That's literally what I'm working on right now. That's why I started doing workouts in the park every Thursday, except for this weather. I'm not going to be doing it tomorrow because it's horrible. So I am trying to build more of a local thing going on because like Lauren said, like I was also a COVID coach. So we couldn't do anything in real life. Like I had a lot of local people at the time and like we would get together when we weren't allowed to, but like it's just like we did it anyways. But a lot of them have come and gone. So now I'm in a phase of rebuilding with all of you guys. And I like want you guys to take the opportunity to do everything that you can because it's all the things that I wasn't able to. And that's why I know like sometimes you're like, okay, Heather, I get it. And I'm just excited for you because you have so many open doors that we don't get to take advantage of because now like Lauren's lifetime 5-star, I'm lifetime 2-star. We don't get to take advantage of all this like really cool group volume bonuses. And I mean, we still have them from our new partners and things like that. Y'all all have brand new teams. Like you get amazing opportunity. And the diamond bonuses. I literally was like, Lauren, I was diamond for 2.5 years before I hit 2-star. I would have killed for that diamond bonus every quarter. And it's just like things like that I'm really excited about for you. So I know I come across really strong. I did have a question about how I know like there's been a lot of questions to me about how you and Josh communicate with each other, like each other's goals. Because I know that in the past, in my own business, that is a huge bone of contention is like, okay, well, my husband doesn't really get it, or my boyfriend doesn't really get it. How do I get them to support me and get on board with what I'm doing? I was just curious I know like Josh, I know Josh. So like, I know he's supportive. But I'm just curious about how you've navigated that with maybe some partners of yours that haven't had super supportive husbands.
Yeah, it's definitely something that comes up. So kind of share like my journey first and then also like tips that I give my partners. Again, like I said, like he doesn't need his head getting big, but like he is literally the best person ever. I have supported, and I think this is where it goes, is I've supported Josh his entire life on any goal he's ever had. We are both very high performing, high achieving, like recognition driven people. And so for a long time, right, like I helped him chase his goals. And that meant me taking on a lot of the load with the kids and the bedtimes. And guys, I can't express to you in my early years of marriage and motherhood how alone I was while he was chasing things. And right, and that was kind of when I found Bondy. I needed something for me, but I never made him resent. Like I was never resentful towards him for chasing those goals. And so then when the time came around and it switched, and he said that this year, right? Like he's watched me speak on NLC stage. He watched me at Punta, like working out live with Autumn. And he's like, it's so cool to see the roles reverse, but you have to be really supportive of your spouse in order for them to be supportive of you. So if they're kind of like resenting you on the business, I do challenge you to take it back and be like, am I maybe not being as supportive as I could in certain areas? And is that kind of coming out here? Also been very vocal with them. So he knew, at the beginning wasn't making much money. So you have to express to them in a different way why this is serving you, right? So like he saw me happier, more confident and excited, but you got to be in this, what I tell my girls, like, you're not a slave to this.
Mm-hmm.
This does not come before your husband. And I think that's where a lot of times it's a problem. Is like you're scrolling and you're like, well, I'm working. Okay. You don't have to scroll. And honestly, messages can go unread. Like I try after a certain point at night, they go unread till the next morning. Like I'd much rather 5 a.m. be replying than the night before. So really like take a time audit of, are you being productive with your phone? Are you telling your spouse you're working when you're not really working? And it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to have to sit down and do invites. And when you're starting time blocking, uncomfortable to be like, I can cram all this in. So be careful with it there. And then setting goals together. And I know Deem's very much part of Heather's business, but like Josh is truly my biggest partner in this business. Like I think he wants our team to go top 10 more than I want our team to go top 10. Like he's just so in on this vision and like in with it. And we set goals, right? Like he knows my body goals. So have you shared your goals? Have you shared like, I'm going to be a diamond partner by this date? This is why it matters. Like I'm going to earn that $250 to $350 diamond bonus. Like I am going to help others. Have you expressed that so then they get behind it? Same thing with your kids and your family, right? Last year we were pushing 5-star and there was that period between June and October. June and October was just like a push season for me. And I started not doing all the bedtimes. And last year was kind of the first time that really happened. Is that if Josh was home, he did the bedtimes, and he started taking those over. And now, he's doing it right now. I'm on the call with you guys. But like telling my girls, like, hey, I'm working hard, so make sure your whole family knows, right? Make sure you're putting in the work, because they knew if we hit 5-star elite, we are going to Disney. I had like told them that, and it would have been crushed my heart to have not hit that goal because I wasn't taking it to Disney. And so like I knew, and like you bet your bottom dollar, October 5th, October 5th, yeah, 5th was the first Elite came out last year. It used to be, you had to wait till Q4 so you can hold your diamond, all that stuff. And we hit it. There's 11 of us. We hit it the first time. And Alan's like, so we're going to Disney tomorrow? I'm like, not tomorrow, but we did. We went on a Disney cruise, very first of January. So like really, but I just had to be so transparent about my goals. We sit down weekly and plan out the week. So like Josh knew tonight I had your all team call. He knows like I try not to plan calls every single night because that just doesn't work. My team, I actually told them we used to do weekly calls, and for just these kind of summer months, May, June, July, I'm like, we're going to do bi-weekly because that serves us all better. That's best for my family. And working full time, sometimes you have to make those decisions. I know Heather wants to see you guys on live and all the calls, but also know sometimes it's okay. And she might not like this, but sometimes it's okay if you catch a recording. Yep. And like I have to do that a lot, right? Like I want to be on all this stuff. I love the Slay Squad. I cannot get on during that time period on Tuesday nights. I listen to recordings, right? National wake up calls. If I'm not doing anything super important at work, I'll listen to it live. Otherwise, I'm watching the recordings. So you guys use your drive time. And when you start doing that, like I think that they're going to get on board, but you just have to express why it matters to you. Really take a look, like, am I being supportive of my spouse? Because if I'm not, like, let me start there. Let me really start supporting and have open communication and conversation. And Body has given me a lot, like a lot in life, but truly Josh and I's relationship has just insanely increased because of it. And he knows it's because of it. Because I'm more confident, I stand up for myself. Like, we have these hard conversations, we have big dream conversations, and we're doing it together.
Yeah. Thank you for that, because I think that's also, I'm not mad about the whole live thing. So that is something that I am even working on, like my boundaries. Like, all of you guys know, baseball season's insane. That's why we have team calls on Wednesdays. I'm not available Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I am not available between baseball season and then transitioning to football season and then transitioning to basketball season. I am a very present parent with my kids. I'm a part of the PTO now. I don't know why I did this to myself, but it's like one of those things is I just want to be involved in where I'm not from here. So that's also part of it. Like, I want to know the people my kids are being raised around. And that's equally as important to me. I mean, I have a deeper reason why I'm showing up for my kids than just being a stay-at-home mom. Like, I didn't have the involvement growing up the way that I want to be involved with my kids. And that's hard to say out loud, but it's real to say out loud. Like, I want to be involved in raising them. And I took a lot of notes from Lauren last year. Like, the kids know if we hit 5-star elite this year, we're going to Harry Potter World. Like, I mean, like, it just like is what it is. We're going to go to Disney also because Peyton. But like, the boys don't really care that much about Disney. That one does. But like, it's like one of those things where I had to get real about the level of intensity I'm working at. And I don't care if you're on every call or not. But the thing is I do see who watches the recordings. I don't know if y'all know that, but I see it. Especially team calls. I record them. I upload them on my YouTube, and I do see how many people rewatch them. So if I see only 2 people rewatch them, I can kind of narrow it down to the other 15 people didn't. So like, you know what I mean? So like, I know when that kind of stuff happens, and that is why I advocate strongly for people to be on at least team call live. Because we're not always going to have them every single week also for the summer. It's just not realistic. And I want you guys to be working your business. I do. So with that being said, if anybody else has any questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. But I want to take a picture before we all hop off, if you guys are able to get on camera. But also, like, any questions, you guys, please know, like, Lauren and I literally talk on a daily basis. And if you have questions for her that maybe you aren't comfortable asking right now, I can always relay something to her, or you can message her on Instagram if you want to, but we're probably going to talk about it anyways, so you might as well ask now. But
I have a quick question.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Can you hear me, and am I breaking up?
No,
I can hear you.
you're not breaking up.
Okay, perfect. So I think my biggest like thing to overcome and what I would like help with is imposter syndrome, and just because what I'm looking at and what I'm like surrounding myself with mostly on my social media are girls that are doing the same exact thing as me, and I want to like differentiate myself from that so that I'm unique, and I just don't really know the best way to do that.
That is so common. And like I don't know, Julie, like how old of a coach you are or not, but even a few years in, like, I do not follow very many partners because of that. Like, I would get so psyched out in my head, like, oh my gosh, I'm not like, I don't post pretty graphics, or my reels aren't good, or like, oh my gosh, she has to be signing up so many people. Look at like her board, even though she could have been making it up and putting stuff. And so I just literally, I do unfollow. And so I just unfollow them. And I want you to really think, like, what does, so the accounts that you are, and I don't want anyone copying anybody, but I would take note of, like, what are those accounts that you're like really drawn to, and like a good way, right? Like, there's a few accounts that I still follow, and I followed from the very beginning. Like, Katie Moore is honestly one that I like have always followed. There's very few top partners I follow, and like Erin Hopkins, love her. So those are two that I'm like, I'm drawn to, but I'm not like, I don't feel that comparison, right? Or that imposter syndrome. I just look at them and I'm like, they're doing something over there, right? And I love how they genuinely share their story. And like Katie Moore's recipes, I will never share recipes, but I like how she tells her story. So unfollow a lot of people. Also, the more you do that, your algorithm will show you to the correct people. So if you are like following and seeing and going on Instagram and watching the stories of all these partners, and that's all you're watching, that's all Instagram's going to keep showing you. So then you're going to get on there and feel like, oh my gosh, there's no one here. It's the same people over and over. It's because it's literally like, that's what it's feeding to you. So I challenge you to unfollow some, really think like, what are your core values? And then how can we start to share that? Because obviously what your core values are is who you want to attract. So I do think that it's going to help you a lot.
Thank you for
Perfect.
asking.
Thank you.
Because I think,
Sorry.
no, you're good. I said, thank you for asking that question because I think it takes a lot to be real about that, because we all know, all of us at one point in time are going to be in the trap of comparing ourselves to somebody. I know I certainly was. And sometimes find myself still there, not even with like the same people all the time, but I can find myself like, damn, they're doing really good. Holy shit, they got a lot of views on that reel. Oh my God, how did they do that? Like literally, like it's hard not to be on social media. But I think like Lauren was also saying, get real with who you are. And you know this about me, and most of you know this about me. When I got really real about who I am as a person last year, it started attracting a very different kind of person. It started attracting people that I actually want to do life with, and that like I actually like to know. And that makes me feel good about the person that I am versus feeling like I have to like be like them. And I like who I am, so I'm not going to change that. So I almost use my Instagram and Facebook and things like that as like when I'm journaling, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to take a little piece of this today, and that's what I'm talking about today. And I'm going to take a little thing that might be on my heart, and that's who I'm speaking to today, because that's who I want to speak to. I don't want to speak to anybody that's not going to be in that same realm of who I am now and who I've been working really hard to become. So hopefully that helps a little bit.
A lot
And
of
I
it.
unfollowed
Thank
some
you.
people last week. I mean, I unfollowed some people last week just because if I'm going to their page and I'm like competing against them, I need to unfollow them. So I did. I had to do a gut check. So know that that's common. Like nothing's wrong with you thinking that. Just do pulse check every once in a while. All of you guys, all of you on your social.
For sure. All right. If nobody else has any questions, I'm going to take our picture and I will make sure that this recording gets uploaded tonight. So,
Hey,
everybody smile. Oh, wait, you have a question, Frankie?
yeah, you showed a book that I think you said it was called 100 Days of Believing Bigger. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes, it's a devotional, and I got off Amazon. So yeah, that's what it's called.
Oh,
It's really
okay.
good.
Yeah.
Can you tag that book?
I'll send it to you guys on Amazon.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Because I think that's where I need to. I like listening to Brandon because there are times when he's like point on, but I really feel like I want to get back into finding the God part. I spiritually, I want to get spiritually right.
Yeah.
And then move on.
Yeah, that makes
And I start my day with the devotionals.
Yeah.
And then we'll do my workout with Brendan. Like, so I've already started, like I start my day with my devotional, my Be Her Now journal, like my actual journaling, my goals, my non-negotiables for the day. And then I pour into Growth Day. Also, Growth Day is great to like listen to when I'm at the office and like in my ear. But yes, I agree. And this devotional is very much so for the woman who kind of wants more. I've read a lot. I have a devotional every morning for the last 4 years, but this one is the best hands down I've ever used. So
very cool.
I put it in there too.
For that, Lauren. All right, everybody smile, look pretty. All right. All right, awesome. Thank you guys for coming, and I will get this uploaded.
Bye.
Bye.
Did you get the thunderstorm?
Thank you. And thank you, Lauren.
Yeah, she's gone, but I like appreciate you guys so much for getting on. Like it really means a lot because Lauren and I work really hard together.
I liked listening to her.
Good.
Yeah. I do want that book though.
Yeah, I'm finding it right now.
I think with, the things we talked about and stuff like that, I think I need to spiritually get back into that to get my mind right too,
Yeah, for sure. Let's see.
because it's never been
Oh,
pushed like in my